Hey everybody, Karen from Master Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are having a conversation about or with Henry David Thoreau. If you're not sure who Henry Thoreau is, I will explain to you. I have always been intrigued by his lifestyle as someone who goes in and out of being a minimalist. I mostly am a minimalist, but sometimes I will start to hoard and then I have to get rid of everything. And then I go through these periods of my life where that happens. And actually, I did explore that in terms of past lives. And that has to do with some past life, letting go of the hoarding part, letting go of some past life issues that we've had. So, anyways, I thought I would give you a view of Lucy as she's sitting there. She lost a little toenail today. She almost fell off the sink. And so then I don't know, it just came off. But all of a sudden there was like blood on the sink. And I'm like, what? Where are you bleeding? And it happened to be her little foot. She doesn't even bother her. I mean, it didn't even bother her at all. She didn't even know. So, but I found the toenail. It was kind of big, but okay. All right, you guys ready? So I have a little prayer first, and then we'll get set up and hopefully talk to Henry. So, all right, I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, excuse me, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the lead team collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team. Thank you so much for being here. Very much appreciate it. Do you have any connections? I've never asked this way before, but I'm going to because it's funny. Do you have an inside scoop, or do you know anyone who knows Henry David Thoreau that you could put us in connection with him by chance? Yes? Okay. All right, we've got a bunch of questions for HDT. Do you have any reservations about our questions? And these questions did come from the community, by the way. You do have reservations about the questions? I'm like, why are they saying yes? No? Okay. Do you want to answer the questions yourself? No? Okay, so you have a tie-in, you have a connection with Henry David Thoreau? Yes? Okay. So we can go ahead and call Henry in, please. It's weird because like when I think of him as just Henry, it doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like you just always have to say his full name. But I'm just going to call him Henry, okay? Obviously, it's his higher self that we're talking to, and his higher self has had a lifetime called Henry David Thoreau. So, Henry, are you here? Yes, awesome. We have some questions for you if you are open to answering those for us in the year 2025. We would appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is an honor to be speaking with you. We're also hoping in the next video that we might be able to do a pendulum conversation with you if you're open to that. Is that something, like, do you have any messages for us in the year? Oh, sorry, we're in 2026. Hello. That's the first time I've done that. It's January 29th when I'm recording this. I'm not sure when you'll see it, but that's funny that I said 2025. Okay, so 2026. And do you have any guidance for us that you can give to us through the pendulum and oracle as well? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's do a quick introduction for those who are not aware or just need kind of a brush up on Henry David Thoreau. Okay, so he was born in 1817. He was a thinker and a deep lover of nature who believed that truth and meaning aren't handed down by institutions or rules, but discovered through personal experience, inner awareness, and time spent in the natural world. Thoreau became famous for choosing to live deliberately. So if you wonder about that sort of, when we say get grounded, that's basically what he started. I mean, the get grounded, ground yourself, go out in nature and ground yourself, center yourself. That's really came from him, is what it sounds like to me. So live deliberately. He spent 2 years in a small cabin called Walden Pond, and he has a book on it. Stripping life down to what really mattered and questioning what people truly needed to live well. This wasn't just a lifestyle experiment, it was a spiritual practice. By stepping away from distractions and expectations, I love that so much. I don't need to necessarily well, distractions would be good, but way more expectations. As an Aries, I do not like expectations placed on me. I don't know if that's just an Aries thing or what, but I'm all about it. I've always been like that from wee little. Okay, so by stepping away from distractions and expectations, he created space to listen more closely to himself, to nature, and to life itself. Wow, what do you think he was doing? Following his intuition? See, he could hear himself more when he wasn't surrounded by everybody's expectations of him or everybody's way of their following their own intuition, right? So we are here in this community not to follow my intuition or anybody else's. It's to follow your own. That's what we're learning to do. And just to trust it. I think that's part of all these conversations is I'm learning more to trust my own intuition just by having so many of these conversations and to see life a little differently. So, but the ultimate goal, if you even look at the description of our channel, when I wrote that's I have not changed it in a year and a half. It was to basically, I don't even know exactly what the words are, but basically to follow your own intuition. So that's what we're here to do, not to follow anybody else's. It is fun to read people's comments because we can learn from each other. But ultimately, when you're learning, it's whatever you might not, some of it you might disregard, some of it you might appreciate, but we're all going to be very, very different. And we have to respect that in each other. So I love that about Henry. So today we're going to see if we can connect with Henry like we already did. So he's already here and we'll talk with him about those choices that he made. Okay. What he learned from living simply and intentionally and whether those insights still hold meaning now from his perspective beyond this lifetime. So that'll be interesting. Okay, Henry. So first question for you. Are you currently alive on Earth today as obviously is your higher self having another lifetime? Yes. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. If yes, is your name now Lanelo? Lanelo. I'm not pronouncing that right, but no, I don't know who that is. Lanello. Are you currently having a lifetime as that person? No. Okay. That was from the community. So somebody wanted to know that. Are you currently working as a scientist? Oh, good. Let me guess. Are you working as a scientist on climate change? So he said yes to a scientist. Oh, I kind of expected him to say no about the climate change. Yes, he is. Okay. So is this current lifetime somewhat of a continuation of your lifetime as Henry David Thoreau? Yes, because not all lifetimes are. Is that correct? Like not all like you could have come and done something completely different. Yes. Okay. So this is you're continuing your work on climate, nature, living better on Earth, that type of thing. Yes. Okay. Are you currently a writer? Yes. Okay. Like a writer, a popular writer, someone who's writing books that are getting mass attention? Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. Are you currently a business person? No. Is this lifetime male? Are you a male? No. Are you a female? Are you, I was going to say, what is it? Gender fluid. Sorry. I was like, okay, so you're living a gender fluid experience right now? Okay, yes. Okay. Are you currently famous in this lifetime? Oh, yes. Gender fluid, female. You said female, right? Female. Gender fluid, female. No, not female. Gender fluid. Do you present as a female? Yes. Do you present as a male? But still, okay, were you born a female? Yes, okay. So you're born a female, but you present gender fluid? Yes, okay. Okay, so anybody know a scientist, writer, female, gender fluid, presents gender fluid? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. That would be really kind of interesting if that name we already asked about, and Lanello, was like that, scientist. I mean, that would be interesting. Okay, the Walden Experiment. Is this the correct timeline for the Walden Experiment? Did you move in on July 4th, 1845? Wow, my mama died on July 4th, 2013. Okay, yes. Did you move out on September 6th, 1847? So you're there for 2 years. Yes. So the duration that you were on Walden Pond was 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days. Are you kidding me? Yes. What? Okay, I just got that. Okay, by moving to the woods on Independence Day, were you illustrating that true freedom isn't just a political status granted by a government? Yes. Wow. It can be a spiritual and mental state achieved by any individual. Yes. Very cool. So I noticed that the total duration of your stay was 222. Was that significant? Yes. Wow. Okay, well, let me look up 222 real quick. Okay, so the number 222, often seen as an angel number, signifies themes of balance, faith, trust, and new beginnings, suggesting that your spiritual guides are present and encouraging you to stay positive, maintain harmony, and trust that things are unfolding as they should. Okay. Does that make sense to anybody? That he would, it's like balance and harmony, right? Balance and harmony. You're going to find that in nature for sure. Trust the process, relationship guidance. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, let's see. Got to get back to my questions. So, Henry, the description that I just read about 222, is that the significance, the balance and harmony? Why that? Yes. Okay. Did you know that significance as Henry David Thoreau? Like, did you know it? Like, did you do that on purpose? No, he said no to both of those questions. Okay. So, but we should see it as significant now that we can see it in hindsight. Yes. Very cool. Okay, the woods. Did you ever actually live in total seclusion in the woods as described in Walden? Yes. I watched the show Alone, and one of the things that drives people the most nuts is not having others. So, but I have a feeling, Henry, were you completely secluded, like 100% all the time? No. Like you could go into town and you could see people? Yes. Okay. I wonder if that's right. I feel like he maybe was completely secluded, but he's saying no. All right. Was your seclusion more of a psychological distance from society rather than a physical exile? No. It was truly an experiment? Yes. Okay. Was the area around Walden Pond actually populated with former slaves? What? Yes. And outcast Irish immigrants? Oh, wow. Yes. Wow. Interesting history. Well, and I don't know if these are going to come up later, but did you find your experiment? Did you find the piece that you thought you would find? Yes. Okay. Is this, I mean, obviously it's going to be hard for a lot of people to just go live secluded in the woods, but are there things that you would recommend that we do today to live somewhat in accordance to what you experimented with? Yes. Would we find it easier? Would we find our existence on Earth to be easier? Yes. Would we find it to be more pleasant? Yes. Is that by stripping down to bare bone needs type of thing? Yes. Okay. Were all of your needs, your physical needs met? Yes. Were all of your psychological needs met during that time? No. Okay. So is there something different? Yeah. So community is real important, right? Yes. Okay. All right. That makes sense to me. And especially again, if you watch the show alone, like so many people leave. They're like, they're staying out there at the long, if you haven't watched it, it's survivalists who go out and see how long they can stay. Whoever stays the longest wins 500,000. So they're given 10 items and none of them are food. So they can bring 10 things with them, plus their clothes on their back and recording equipment. So they record the whole thing. And so it's basically like who can last the longest. And a lot of people leave because of the loneliness. Actually, a lot of people leave because they can't get out of their heads. Stuff comes up when you're alone and you have to see it. Their brains take over their joy. Like they can't find, and I think that's probably half and half. Some of them are just lonely and but I think they're lonely because they can't stand being with themselves. It's kind of how I see it. If you watch that show, you let me know if you kind of interpret it the same way. It's really interesting. But that's important for us to look at too. Like how many times are we just, I mean, I think I do it all the time. I'm always moving for the next thing to the next thing. I don't really have quiet time without anything in front of me. I rarely do. And I'm actually okay with that. Like I'm okay sitting with myself though. Like I have to say, a lot of the work that I've done over the years, I'm okay sitting with myself now. So I don't think I'm running from it. I just am, but if you are, there's obviously some I mean, there's always inner work to do. I've got more to do for sure, but, it's just something to think about. Okay, let's talk a little bit about civil disobedience. Okay, so Henry, your work argued that the individual is the final judge of right and wrong, and that one must prioritize conscience over the state. Is that true? Yes. Does that mean over like the government? Yes. Okay, so prioritize conscience over the state. While at Walden, were you arrested for refusing to pay your poll tax? Wow, yes. Was that in protest of slavery and the Mexican-American War? Yes, this is so weird that this is coming up, you guys, because we just recently paid our quarterly taxes for our business. And man, I don't mind paying my state taxes, but I was pissed about having to pay the federal taxes. And actually, we didn't pay our quarterly tax the last 2 quarters, but we just thought, well, we better do it now. But we just thought we'd take a penalty the last 2 quarters to take a stand. I'm just mad. Like, who wants to pay anybody? Like, I wish we could just do state protests. I would gladly send my federal taxes to my state. I would much rather do that. Because I do not want to support this crap that's going on, right? I mean, a lot of you probably feel that way. It's challenging. That is really challenging. That's gotten me really thinking about it. And ever since I had to fork over a ton of money because I hadn't paid my quarterly taxes for a couple of while, I'm just like, now I feel like responsible for funding the shit that they're funding. And they're not even trying to balance the budget whatsoever. I mean, that's gone. What happened to Doge, you guys? What happened? Okay, don't get me started. Gone. Doge has been, oh yeah, so what? I thought that was a priority. What? Anyways, we're talking to Henry. Hi, Henry. Henry, I'm a little pissed. Yes. Okay. Henry, does it make sense that we're pissed about what's going on in the federal government right now? Yes. Okay. Would you have been pissed by this in when you were an adult? Yes. Yes, yes. Do you feel like you had, and don't pick up on my energy when you answer this, and actually don't pick up on it on any of the questions, please. But do you feel like you had the same values that I do? Let's just say yes. Okay. And for some of you, you might not know what my values are, and that's okay. We don't need to go into it. Obviously, you just picked up on some of them. So, yes. Okay. But for those of you who have been around for a year, really we're on the same page, aren't we? Okay. And that's okay if you're not. It's okay. Total. We don't have to be on the same page. Well, with some things, I think we probably should, like not wanting to live in a fascist country would probably be a good idea, you know. And if you're not seeing that right now, then please look for other resources to learn to see if you see differently. That's all I can say. All right. Yeah, I mean, just get away from your algorithm. Of course, if you landed here, you probably did get away from your algorithm. So, was your home a stop on the Underground Railroad? Oh, wow. Yes. We have a stop right up the road from me that was Underground Railroad. It's a restaurant now. It's very cool. Okay, did you personally help escaped slaves reach the train to Canada? Wow, the timing of this conversation is impeccable when we think about what's happening to normal people wanting to earn a good living in the United States right now. Not criminals, just normal, not even just US citizens, but also US citizens. It's kind of the timing of this is incredible. He's like, yes. Did you still support civil disobedience against do you still support civil disobedience against unjust governments? Yes. Okay, well, let me ask you, where your new lifetime right now, are you left leaning? Yes. Okay. Or right leaning? No. Okay. Can one partake in such resistance and still ascend to a 5D, oh boy, no, or higher spiritual frequency? That's honest. That's honest. If he would have said yes, I would have had to really have a deeper conversation about that. So he's saying no. Does that mean that those who are listening to this should not partake in the resistance? No. Okay. Is it best if we follow our inspiration? When we want to, we do. When we don't feel the call for whatever reasons, whether it's fear, anger, is it best for us to partake in the resistance from a centered place? Yes. So if you can't feel centered, then that day you step out, is my suggestion. Is that correct, Henry? Yes. Okay. That's what I'm kind of leaning on right now. When I feel centered, I get involved. I make my phone calls. On the days I'm not feeling centered, I'm not making phone calls. I'm not showing up to protests on those days, that type of thing. Is that a good measure? Yes. Okay, well, if we measure ourselves that way by partaking in the resistance, are we then able to ascend to the 5D in that way? Yes, because again, you're not lowering your vibration. So it's constant recalibration right now, isn't it, you guys? We're really learning how to do that, which is that actually necessary for us to really learn how to recalibrate our vibration in order to ascend to 5D? Yes, really wide swing on that. Were you able to access the cosmic consciousness as you contemplated when you were at Walden Pond? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Would you consider yourself now, did you consider yourself a psychic or a medium then when you were in human form? No. Were you? Yes. So did you have your clairs developed? Yes. But you didn't consider yourself a psychic or a medium? No. Did you know what those terms were back then? No. Okay. Huh. Did it surprise you? Yes. Did you have your clairs developed in childhood? Were they already developed and you just hung on to them? Yes. Okay. Because we all have the clairs. It's whether or not they're honed in, the veil, the veil's thinner. Yes. Okay. After you transitioned from as your life in Henry David Thoreau, did you find that all of the philosophies of your transcendentalism were true? No. Did you find that most of them were true? Yes. That's what his movement is called, or his philosophy, transcendentalism. It's not an easy word. I mean, it's an easy word, but it's long. Okay, do all of the philosophies of transcendentalism hold true in today's world? Yes. Huh. Okay, so all of them do. Yes. Was the transcendentalism of your time an earlier version of today's spiritual movements? Yes. Is it also an earlier version of off-grid living? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Can you confirm if these examples are ways you stripped life down to its essence during your time on Walden Pond? With the cabin, you proved that shelter, a basic human necessity, did not require a lifetime of debt. Yes, hence the fact that I have lived in a condo since my late 20s. No, early 30s. I moved here when I was 31. So we owned a house for 4 years and did not appreciate living paycheck to paycheck and didn't want to do yard work anymore. So we moved to a condo, which was very uncommon. I don't know if it is today, but very, very uncommon. Okay, around my circles anyways. Okay, so he's saying yes. You calculated that you needed to work about 6 weeks out of the year to meet all living expenses. I love this so much. Yes. By minimizing your needs, you maximized your time. Yes. Have you guys all read Your Money or Your Life? I'll put the link to that in the description. I read that in my early 20s, and I have been motivated by that ever since. I just love it so much. I didn't think my husband didn't like it as much as I did, so we didn't quite go to that extreme, but I could have totally done it. All right, you refused to buy things that didn't serve your soul, realizing that every object you own eventually ends up owning you. Oh my God, I love it. Because it requires your time and attention to maintain. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. You guys, start decluttering. He's saying yes. All right. Only obviously, if you're inspired by that. Oh, I just love that so much. You viewed your mornings as a sacred, deliberate act to simply be with this time in morning air, keeping your soul awake. Is that true? Yes. I feel the same way. Now that I don't have to get up by an alarm, or I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm very chatty today. I was thinking about this last night, actually, of how much, like the only thing I really did not like about my career. Well, first of all, most of the time I actually wasn't dictated by what to do in my job. Most of the time it was very independent. Like I was able to program and do the things I wanted to do. But the thing I did not like was being told what time to be places. Did not like it. Probably most people don't, but I do not like rushing in the morning. I literally will sit for 2 hours with coffee in the morning. I do not like rushing. It's just, I'm the same way as Henry. I don't just be though. I do tend to watch, but I watched things like alone, and I don't know. I just like the quiet time and just sitting. I'll go for walks in the summer, but okay, you avoided the gossip of the daily newspapers, which you found to be trivial and focused on the classic works of philosophy and literature. Yes. So better medicine, better vitamins for your brain, correct? Yes. Very cool. I'm glad we went over that just to understand the more of really how he lived. Okay, did you feel your message was understood at the time? No. Do you feel now, looking down or over or, through the veil, do you feel that you are credited for a lot of this movement today? Well, that's cool. Yes. Do these concepts still ring true for us today? All the ones that we just discussed? Yes. Is constant productivity a form of quiet enslavement? Yes. And constant buying. Buy, right? Is our current pace of life natural for the human spirit? No. Nope. Is simplicity one of the most important virtues for humanity to learn? Yes. Yes, it is. Especially with all the basically brainwashing, media, drug companies, food companies, a lot of brainwashing. All the ads. I mean, think about it. Like when you were a little kid, I'd get the Sears catalog. Not everybody did this. I don't think my sister wasn't as interested in this, but we'd get the Sears catalog. Oh, at Christmas, I would spend hours circling. I mean, come on. Okay. Is it appropriate that Elon Musk name the Tesla line of cars after your contemporary Nikola Tesla? He was saying no, but then he switched to yes. I could tell he was going to switch. Okay, so it was appropriate. Yes. Okay. It's interesting, you guys, because I also just recently, a day or two ago, did a session with Nikola. So that's really interesting that came up in here. So, all right. Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have additional questions for Henry, then let me know. If there's additional questions on anything, just put them. If you have just questions, put them in the comments and we'll grab them. We grab questions all the time. And when we have enough community questions, even just random ones, we'll put together a whole random episode as well. So, but join me tomorrow when we talk with Henry using the pendulum. So, Henry, are you still open to having a pendulum conversation? Yes? Okay. So thank you so much, Henry, and I will see you in the next video as well as you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.